pandemic inspired retailers to innovate as they recognized the need for a physical store combined with an online presence. For insight from Colliers, we're joined by Madeline Nichols and Jane Domenico. Madeline, what's the relationship right now between brick and mortar and e-commerce?
Well, what we're seeing now is retailers that excelled in the digital world are opening bricks and mortar and being really successful at it. It allows them to increase overall sales and build trust in the brand by allowing people to touch and feel the quality of the product. A great example of this is Mcguire. They're a Canadian jeweler that has a huge online and social presence, and in fact, I got really hooked on them. During the pandemic, they've got a fantastic Instagram page. So when they opened close to my home in Toronto, I couldn't wait to get in there and actually try on the jewelry. And then I saw when they opened their second store in Vancouver, something really similar. They were totally lined up. Mcguire has seen jewelry gifting increase by 66% during the pandemic. It's really that physical store that's so important because it's the ability to touch and feel and try on that really builds trust.
Jane, click and collect has become very popular among retailers. What are some of the advantages to that model?
Well, there really are three main advantages. The first is profitability. That last mile to the home is extremely expensive for the retailer. So if you can get the customer to come to the store and pick up their merchandise, that improves that retailer margin, which is really important in today's competitive environment. The second issue is it's more green. Returns from e-commerce are extremely high. By having the customer come to the store, they can return their merchandise directly to the retailer supply chain, which is much more efficient and much greener. And finally, consumers like it. They go into the store, and numerous studies have shown, including Colliers market research, that we spend 30% more that when we pick up in store than when you don't.
You know what else we've seen? Retailers like Mcguire Shoes, based out of Montreal, that open physical stores in order to drive their online sales. So for them, every time they've opened a new physical store, yes, they get the sales in the store, but they also get an increase in sales online.
What would surprise people about the retail sector right now?
Well, contrary to what many believe, Canadian retail sales are the highest they've ever been in history. The previous peak, pre-pandemic in 2019, was $616 billion. We're now at 675, and we're on our way to $700 billion. So yes, some of that is inflation, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I think what's really important is Canadian sales are really strong, and they're still growing.
93% of the sales happen in store in Canada. That's a huge percentage. In terms of the retailers themselves, the online retailers are looking to be in-store, and our in-store retailers have an online presence. The fast-forward retailers of tomorrow are looking towards the metaverse and those types of social engagement and retail brand platforms for them to produce. Our retailers work extremely hard and evolve to meet changing needs and consumers. We have an entrepreneurial spirit in the Canadian retail landscape, and that is something that's shone through over the last 2 years.
Jane, you've said that shopping is social. So how are you helping retailers with the social aspect of shopping while also creating a comfortable and safe experience?
In the past 2 years, we have all concentrated on providing a safe and clean shopping environment very successfully. But now we have to pivot. We have to add entertainment back and make the fun back into shopping. Instead of it being focused on the necessities, let people linger, have it as a place of social engagement. Those are really important for the success over the next couple of years.
A company we've been working with has 20 car dealerships across BC. Immediately following the lockdown, they put their staff to work. Doing what? Well, reaching out, first of all, to every single customer to check if they were okay, and then to pick up and deliver groceries. What I love is they offer car washes on Saturdays. So customers come for a free car wash, they have a coffee, they talk to the staff, and it's become a community. Their business has grown, but most notably, their customer connections have grown even stronger. And that's the kind of customer service and retail resiliency that we're seeing right across the sector now.
Now, a number of malls are for sale. Why is that, and how are they being transformed?
I like to think of the mall and the retail investment asset class as a phoenix rising. 2 years ago, most investors were not interested in this asset class, but today we have two strong types of assets that have a lot of investor interest for very different reasons. The first is the necessity-based retail assets, and those are your grocery, pharmacy, anchored sites that have shown resilience throughout the last 2 years and provide a very stable cash flow. The second is the enclosed fashion malls. These malls are at a tipping point. They are evolving into live, work, and play communities. This is, though, very high risk, but very high reward investing because the dollars involved are significant. So these two asset classes provide great investment vehicles for the right investor.